Thank you for joining us for the Spanish Grand Prix here in Barcelona. The first Grand Prix held here was won by Nigel Mansell after a wheel-to-wheel battle with Ayrton Senna. But who will follow in his footsteps this weekend? After taking the win in the previous race, Red Bull will be hoping to push for another strong finish. It won't be easy though, with plenty of competitors fighting them for the points. Now let's crack on with the weekend. This is it. It's the Spanish Grand Prix. And it's lights out, and away we go.
Away we go for episode number 4, P5 and P11 there in qualifying. Tail Porcher once again with a very good qualifying. And George Russell once again kind of flopped it. However, that did allow us to save a set of soft compound rubber, which we will use today in our strategy. Medium soft for George Russell, medium hard medium for Tail Porcher. I think both these guys have a chance to maybe get on the podium. Just got to see how the cards fall.
Struggling with the car, and hopefully there's not too much damage to the tyres.
Mate, I f***ed up. I'm sorry.
The first stint went well. Too well. On to set a hard compound rubber. Things are going smoothly so far. 22.33 there for the French driver. Down and away for ourselves. Out of the pit lane behind for Festing to Antonelli. Thus far, pretty good stuff. Now just waiting on the first pit stop for George Russell. Now it's Georgie's turn. On to his own set of soft compound rubber. That's a mistake. You know what? It's bound to happen at some point. It is what it is. Not that much time lost. 3.8 seconds down and away. Hopefully that extra, 1.5 seconds will come back to bite us in the end. So down the pit lane now. Down out of the pit lane now, I should say. George Russell comes out in P10. Onto the second round of pit stops.
Currently P10.
No. No. No way.
No. No. No.
A terrible rejoin there from Charles Leclerc. Causes a crash with, I believe that was Antonelli. And we've got a red flag.
And it's lights out, and away we go.
Away we go again. So it turns out it was actually Lando Norris there in the Ferrari, but either way, a disastrous move there. For Charles Leclerc, meanwhile for ourselves, we're going to the end of this Grand Prix with Tail Porcher and George Russell from P2 and P5. Medium for Porcher, hards for George Russell. Not ideal, but it's cards that we were dealt. Got to make the most of it now. Well, I do believe K-Mag is going to be racing with us until the end of the Grand Prix. This should help. It's provisionally up into P4 for George Russell. It might be time to put Old Yeller out of his misery.
I can't do.
And there's the lockup. But that's just the risk you take. The later you leave it.
I mean, Sonoda's tires are fried. Surely he's got to be coming in this time by. Yeah, wise call. All right, well, P2 and P3 chasing Piastri. I've seen this movie before.
Red Bull takes the win.
Just amazing. I think that's a race that people will be talking about for years to come.
Red Bull's perfect season continues, and Oscar Piastri's essentially perfect season continues as well. For ourselves, we were first in class, P2 and P3, considering that we had the curve ball, the red flag thrown at us. We actually had to hold off the hard charging Yuki Tsunoda for the podium. I'm happy, but man, just this guy, man.
A proud moment for a driver who fought so hard to earn their place up there.
There's further delight for the team as they get to see both drivers up there together.
Here in Austria, we're all ready to go for the sprint. And it's lights out, and away we go.
Away we go here for the sprint in Salzburg. P3 and P6, just the good times keep on rolling. Not really anything to complain about just yet, but I will find something. P2 now and P6 for George Russell. Both guys on mediums. Nothing really too crazy. Yeah, it's a sprint in Salzburg. I'll see you guys at halfway.
Not a lot of wiggle room here. And not just one car involved in that, as you can see.
10 to go here in the sprint. We have lost touch with Piastri and Esteban Ocon. However, George Russell has climbed with the running order, got himself up into P4. We're kind of running by ourselves, which I don't really mind. Let's just see if we can bring it home. Good time is going to keep on rolling here for Red Bull. Piastri will more than likely win the sprint here in Salzburg. Ocon will actually come home for P2, and ourselves P3, P4. Like I said, we're going to bring it home, but I got no answers. I have no answers for the onslaught of Oscar Piastri. He will go ahead and win the sprint here in Salzburg. I mean, for sure we can tune on it, make it a little bit better for the main event, for the feature race, but Piastri's just dynamite.
Oscar Piastri there with a stellar drive.
And that sprint win was well deserved. On to the Grand Prix now.
It's the race we've all been waiting for. It's the Austrian Grand Prix. And it's lights out, and away we go.
The time is now. Teo Porcher captures his first ever pole position for Musk today. Porcher will be going medium hard in this race. George Russell will be going with a very aggressive hard soft strategy, but I do think it will work. It looks like Logan Sargent, unfortunately, the unlucky one that got forced off there at T1, and the Mercedes now make up the back row of the grid. So yeah, P1 and P3. I'll see you guys at the first pit stop.
But here we are following the Alpine. Tries to get by, and there the cars make contact. I wouldn't.
First pit stop underway here for George Russell. Things aren't going amazing. Piastri has kind of scampered away from us a little bit, but there's still a lot of racing to go. Good pit stop there for him. Now just waiting on the first pit stop, and only pit stop, hopefully, for Teo Porcher. Nothing but a nice, clean pit stop here, boys. Onto his own set of hard compound rubber, 2.4. I remember when that was a good pit stop for us. Not so much anymore. So Teo Porcher will be going to the end of this Grand Prix now, coming out in P11. Still a lot of guys left to make the final pit stops. Now just waiting on the final one here for George Russell. How do you spin out that way? Really quiet race so far. Not quite sure where we are on the running in all actuality. Onto a brand new set of soft compound over there for George Russell. Down and away 22.6 or 2260, 2.260, whatever you want to call it. And we go to the end of this race. He will pop out ahead of Teo Porcher, who seems to be really struggling with that mechanical fault. So P5 and P9, I guess we just go to work. Or are we going to get ahead of Antonelli already? Yeah, I'll be damned. Magnussen into the pits. P3, P8.
Pushing a bit too hard at this point. Has to be said, that was pretty risky. And they'll have to pick themselves up after that.
Oh, this race just got blown wide open as Kimi Antonelli, and I believe this is the Williams of Hoffman, I believe, have collided. So Hoffman was a lap down and just completely wiped out. A lead lap runner. Meanwhile, we've got Oscar Piastri, and everybody will be coming into the pit lane this time by, including ourselves. So George Russell comes in. We should absolutely be able to hold position. Porcher, I'm not so sure. We're going to come in P6, come out in P9. Not bad. Let's see at the restart. Oh, game on here at the front. So Sonoda stayed out on his existing set on soft compound rubber. Piastri's P2, we are P3, George Russell. I think we might even have a shot to go win this race. Magnussen is P4. You can drop all the way back here to Porcher and P9, who's got to make hay, although he's got a lot of easy people to pass in the meantime. So hopefully Porcher can go for it, but primarily this is going to be focusing on George Russell.
Back to where you are.
Oh, wow.
Now we're just proceeding through turn 4. And then the car just goes. And there'll be words had after this, I'm sure.
Meanwhile, we have overtaken Yuki Tsunoda. It is game on here at the front. Are we going to get Piastri already? Around the outside, do not force us off. Do not force us off. Yes. It's going to be the last man standing. And speaking of force man off, sorry, Esteban. Well, lost one, gained one. Actually, no, never mind. Just gained one. Look at this fucking hornet's nest of cars. Wow, around the outside of Kevin Magnussen. Oh, Teo Porcher. You bet. Oh, and we got Lando as well. Piastri, but I think we should be able to get ahead of Max Verstappen. Nice.
There it is. A win for George Russell.
Well, it was never certain, but if anything, that must make the victory taste even sweeter.
Ah, sweet like the taste of Red Bull. Finally at the home of Red Bull, we have brought their perfect season to an end, and George Russell breaks through and captures his first win of the season. Teo Porcher comes back to get P4. Finally, I've been waiting for a race like this for so long, and we've finally done it. Hopefully this is a good omen going forward. Let's see what we can do at Silverstone.
What a brilliant race that was for the team. They just did everything right, the driver included, of course.
The team has been waiting patiently there, and you can see just how much it means to each and every one of them. Anticipation is high, and the drivers are ready for this. The British Grand Prix. And it's lights out, and away we go.
Away we go. Another Porcher P1 and another really mediocre Russell qualifying. Soft, medium, hard for, or soft, medium, soft for himself. Soft, medium for Porcher. We're going to go ballistic, balls out. I think we can win another one. Let's take it to Red Bull. Well, Esteban Ocon's going to follow us into the pit lane, but hopefully our guys will be able to do the job to get ourselves ahead. Wow, tongue doesn't work. To get ourselves out ahead of the Frenchman. As 2.2 second pit stop, very nice. And I'm sure you're going to be able to do it just fine. George Russell, 2050, not too bad. First pit stop cycle completed, and yeah, nothing really to report on a cycle number 2.
Sorry, man, no mistake. Just lost the car.
Well, Piastri down there has already received his service. Barring a miracle, it seems like once again we've been snuffed by the magic that is the pairing of Red Bull and Oscar Piastri. Pit stop completed there for Tailport Chair. Nice and easy. We'll see where he cycles out. George Russell will be coming in this time by for his own final pit stop here in this race. Just a little confused as to where our pace is. 2.2 seconds. Not too bad. Out of the pit lane in P7, 8. Go to the end from here.
Spot.
Well, Valtteri isn't on the same cycle that we are, but we'll still go ahead and show it anyways. Up to P6. I mean, yeah, everybody else is going to the end, so now we race. Oh.
Now we're watching the action closely here. Can they squeeze by?
Only after 15 laps. Yes. Now surely, I mean, I'm going to deploy here. We need to get ahead of Logan Sargent now. Please. Please. Yes, finally on the last lap.
And it's a win for the Red Bull.
After that performance, there's no doubt that they deserve their spot at the top of the podium.
That is 10 for 12 for Oscar Piastri. Well, Piastri wins the British Grand Prix. Yuki Tsunoda will come home in P2 for the Williams team. I'm sure all the local fans will love that. Tailport Chair comes home P3. Great recovery drive. We finally were able to get ahead. I think if we hadn't been held up so much by these two, we maybe could have made a run at Tsunoda, but ultimately just wasn't quite meant to be. And then George Russell comes back to get P6.
Thank you very much.
Positive episode overall. We'll see what happens for episode number 5.
Good episode.
A proud moment for a driver who fought so hard to earn their place up there.
They've scored their 6th podium of the season. It's proving to be a strong year.